Welcome to the JD Remedy. Hello guys, welcome back to another episode of the JD Remedy. Thank you so much for tuning back into another episode. I am so glad to be back. I took a little break whenever I feel like it, but I took another break and I am back, and I've got lots of episodes that I want to film. My phone is full of notes and subjects and episodes for you guys, so be excited to see and hear more content from me. It's funny, I don't know if anybody else is the same. I get embarrassed almost when I'm like vlogging or filming episodes when people know I'm doing it. Like if they're in my house, I live with my partner and I always time my filming when he leaves the house, like when he's at work or when he goes to the gym. So I don't know, it's this thing. I don't know what it is. So he left this morning and I said to him, babe, like message me when you're coming home because I don't want you to walk in. And he got all weird, obviously, and was like, why? Like, what are you going to be doing at home that you don't want me to see? It's like, just filming my podcast, you know? And how sus does that sound? He's like, okay, whatever. But no, babe, I'm not cheating on you or having a rave party in the house or anything like that. I'm just filming my podcast and I'm embarrassed to film in front of people. So let me know when you're coming home. Thanks. Awesome. So anyway, what's been going on? It is finally warming up here in Perth, and it's the kind of warming up that we don't want to happen. It's so friggin' hot. It's that kind of hot in Perth that you're like just sweating in your bed when you're trying to go to sleep, and you know, you're sticky and everybody's sweaty and smelly, and it's just so hot, like the kind of hot weather that gives you headaches. And we're not even in the fucking ripeness of it yet. It's going to get worse, but it is a breath of fresh air, like going outside and having the sunshine and being able to do outdoor things and enjoy some vitamin D. So grateful for the weather and grateful for WA. We are officially, I think, 8 months with no community transmitted COVID. So no cases. Like we are all good. You know, so grateful that we are able to enjoy our lives. Still a few restrictions in terms of events and things like that. So not sure how New Year's Eve and things will go, but definitely grateful for the fact that we can just go outside and go to lunch and go to coffee and, you know, go clubbing or whatever it is that people want to do in Perth. I think it's just, I'm so grateful for that, especially with Christmas coming around. No restrictions on, you know, who we can hang out with and how many people. So, you know, definitely feeling it for the people that are not in that situation in other cities or countries, wherever you are around the world. If you're still doing it tough, you know, my thoughts and feelings go out to you, and just make sure there's people out there that you're reaching out to if you're feeling lonely or anything like that. I do have a Facebook group if you'd like to chat to any of us, but make sure you're still staying connected and, you know, not isolating yourself mentally. So yeah, not a lot else has been going on. I've just been kind of chilling and relaxing, trying to save a bit of money and stay at home as much as I can in preparation for all of the holidays coming up. There's only a couple of weeks left, and then, yeah, all of the Christmas events have started happening, like Christmas parties, like work Christmas parties and family dues and all that kind of stuff. Then it will be New Year's. Ooh, my bank account is like not prepared for this holiday season. It's never prepared for the holiday season, but yeah, my family does something, Secret Santa or Kris Kringle, whatever you guys want to call it, and it's actually so good. I highly recommend you guys telling your family about it, or your friends, whoever you do Christmas presents with, because it takes so much pressure and stress off you knowing that you only have one person to buy for with like a good amount of spend limit, like $50. So everybody gets a $50 present, and you don't have to like break your bank account and run around Christmas time trying to stress about buying a million presents for people, you know? So ever since I introduced it to the family, it's like, it's been so amazing. You know, you just pick a name out of a hat and that's the person you buy for, and that's it. So my family does that, and it just takes so much stress away. But yeah, let's get into the episode. I kind of wanted to almost like a a wrap up, but not a wrap up. We will touch on a few things that we've learned from the podcast this year, but I really just want to prepare you guys for next year. So we can talk about, for starters, New Year's resolutions, right? And I think, look, they're fun and they're a cute idea, and it is a way of, starting the conversation of, what changes are you going to make next year? What are you doing with your life, Jade? That kind of topic. But at the end of the day, I think New Year's resolutions are bullshit. I feel like people, they're just a fancy way of saying like, what goals are you going to set for yourself in 2021, right? But I think they're bullshit, because a New Year's resolution, I feel like people just set them because they have to. It's like the trend, or, it's a cool thing to say, like, oh, what's your 2021 New Year's resolution? Like, and so I feel like there's not a lot of planning that goes behind a New Year's resolution, and people just pull it out of their ass for the sake of having a New Year's resolution, which is why a lot of people do not achieve or stick to their New Year's resolutions, because they just pulled it out of their ass last minute and they haven't really thought about it. And, it's really important to note that you can make changes or set goals or anything like that throughout any time of the year whenever you feel like it. So why not just start now? Don't wait for the New Year's resolution part to kick in, or the new year. I think people's mindset is they panic and they quickly set a goal because it's like the calendar resets almost, like the 1st of January. You have to officially start your new habits, or you're not allowed to do anything you did the year before, or like that mindset of, oh, it's a fresh, clean slate. Like, I can continue eating like shit the rest of December and I'll just start again next year. It's like, no, you can make changes whenever you like. And you're better off starting now, because it's like that momentum pattern really, where you get into the habit of changing these goals. So if you actually start now, by the time you get to 2021, you'll already be on track, you'll already be motivated, and then you're actually setting yourself up for a successful 2021. So no better time than the present. And that goes for any friggin' day of the year, right? Because having a goal necessarily is, there needs to be substantial planning behind it, and that emotional connection to it, and a very clear end destination of why you want that goal to be achieved as well. So pulling out of your ass is definitely not going to get you there. So we can talk about, the difference between maybe a bold goal and a SMART goal. Many of you probably know what a SMART goal is. If you don't, it's many different interpretations, but it's normally a specific, measurable, achievable, what does R stand for? Fuck. I did PT for like 4 years and I can't remember. Realistic and timely. So that's pretty much saying like your goals need to be all of those things. They need to be measurable, attainable or achievable, realistic and timely, which is true, like in a way, but also those kind of goals are fucking boring. They might be like a goal for the week, or a smaller goal, like stepping stones toward that bold, fucking big, hairy, audacious goal, right? So it is good to have realistic goals that are timely and achievable and things like that. But the difference between that and a bold goal is that bold goal needs to be compelling. It needs to be what drives you, what gets you out of bed in the morning. It's almost like the goal is ridiculous when you think about it, right? It's like almost out of reach. We do want it to be like realistic. Otherwise, like we can't make $1 million in a week. Do you know what I mean? If you're only making like 40K a year and next week you want to make $1 million, that's probably not realistic, right? I don't even know how you would make that much money in a week, but you know what I'm saying, right? It needs to be somewhat realistic within your means, but also it makes you feel like it's almost out of reach. It's so bold. It's like, I know I'm capable and I know I'm worth this, but it needs to drive you. It needs to be compelling enough that it fucking gets you out of bed in the morning and it excites you, right? Because a lot of us aim too low and we hit, and then it's like, oh, okay, well that was underwhelming. Like I hit it, but I know now that I've hit it, I'm definitely capable of more, right? You'd rather aim a lot higher and maybe just miss, knowing you've learned and you've achieved everything you have so close to that goal, so that the next time you try, because that's the thing with goals. A lot of people think that if you set a goal and you don't achieve it, you don't ever try again. Like, that's it for that goal. That's unachievable now. That's unattainable. We tried once and that's it. No, that's not how it works. You keep trying, right? You keep failing forward and you take the lessons and you learn from it and you just keep doing different things. So you might as well strive for a goal that's like way higher up, and fucking, get outside your comfort zone and take way more lessons and learnings from it and try and get there, rather than hitting way too low and just being comfortable in your little comfort zone. Do you know what I mean? So hopefully that made sense. I think a lot of people don't do, call it research, or the thinking behind why they need to make these changes in their life, or why they want to make these changes in their life. How many times have you actually set a goal or your quote unquote New Year's resolution and not hit it? Or maybe you tried it for the first 2 weeks of the year and then you were like, fuck, I can't be bothered with this anymore. I think the biggest thing here is awareness precedes change. So having awareness around why you actually haven't achieved that goal in the last 5 years that you've set it. Because if you don't have awareness around these things and you don't make changes, it's just a repetitive pattern of failure almost. Like, I don't really like that word, but it is. If you just keep doing the same shit without changing it or bringing awareness to the fact as to why it didn't work, then you're not really doing yourself any favors. So before you actually set goals, think about, firstly, have you set them before? Did you achieve them? If yes, awesome, how can I make them even better? Or if no, why not? What were some of the factors included as to why I didn't hit that goal? A lot of it will stem down to lack of preparation, lack of help or accountability or coaching, or, whatever that aspect looks like for you. But a lot of it is yourself. What changes do you need to make personally, internally? What do you need to get rid of in terms of limiting beliefs, or what mindset do you need to have? Like, what is it within yourself that you actually need to change to make those massive shifts in your life happen? Because if you're just continuing to be the same person with the same sabotaging behaviors or same limiting beliefs, of course you're going to indulge in the same self-sabotaging behaviors that take you away from your goal. That was kind of confusing, but we got there in the end. You know what I mean? So I think the awareness precedes change part is definitely good for what changes do I need to make? Who do you need to be to achieve that goal? What's holding you back emotionally? Or what emotions need to serve you, I suppose, in that environment to achieve that goal? And what behaviors do you need to actually incorporate in your routines to make that goal happen? These are all just awareness tips, like really do some journaling, meditation, do some deep dives, get a fucking mentor, talk to someone that's actually doing this already. This is a huge tip of mine. I probably mentioned this on the podcast in one of the episodes because it's one of my favorite quotes. Only take advice from people you would trade places with, right? So if you are chasing that successful relationship, talk to someone that's been in a successful, beautiful, perfect relationship for fucking years. Like, if you're chasing a certain type of education or skill for yourself, talk to someone that's already doing it and has mastered it. If you are seeking a specific career path or a job promotion or whatever it is, talk to someone that has been through that journey already and take advice and take their lessons and learning and get feedback. If you've been gunning for the same promotion for months or years even, and you haven't got it, before you try and make those changes, speak to the people that are in charge of that promotion, or speak to the people that were hired instead of you, or whatever it is. Take as many lessons and learnings as you can before you prepare those next steps of your goal and how you're going to get there. Because without feedback and without awareness of where you're actually going wrong, it's almost impossible, because you're not the only person that sees this straight line journey, right? You need other people's perspective, because you can't always see everything that you want to see. Is that making sense? It makes sense in my head, because I've got a picture of like a journey and the end goal at the end and everybody standing around you. Like, I don't know if you guys are picturing the same thing as me. But in my head, I'm like, shit, this looks good. So I'm sorry if it doesn't make sense at all, but I hope you understand what I'm saying. So yeah, get that accountability, take those lessons and learnings, have awareness for yourself, and do journaling, meditation, whatever it is, to be aware of those things. What emotions are holding you back, what behaviors, and who do you want to be? And that question of like, who do you need to be to achieve those goals? That's not like, don't be true to who you are. I mean, like, internally and your true self. Who is that person? Because that person will always show up and will always achieve what they want to achieve. Before all this reality kicked in, or self-sabotaging behaviors, or limiting beliefs and negative patterns that you picked up along your whole life journey, who is that really deep core true self before you were exposed to anything that held you back? Who is that person, and who does that person need to be in this moment right now? Who do you need to show up as? What version of yourself needs to show up right now in order for these goals to be hit? And this fucks a lot of people up, because it's like we all have it in us, right? We all have this person within us, this version of ourselves that's a fucking go-getter and achieves whatever they put their mind to, etc., etc. But obviously we've got some baggage that we're carrying, right? We just need to work through it. We need to unpack a little bit. We need to put that shit down because it's weighing us down. It's too heavy. It's painful to carry, right? So what do we need to do to find that best version of ourselves? And if you don't know how to find them yet, just think about, like, who would it be? Like, what version of yourself? Imagine yourself standing in a room with a bunch of people, but those people is just different versions of yourself. It might be you at a different age. It could be even you in the future. If you do some like dream life meditations, or like dream journaling, and do some like stuff like that. Journaling, meditation, yeah. And you were to pick, like, if you were to wake up tomorrow and be living your perfect life, what would be happening? Like, where would you be living? What car would you be driving? Which people would you have surrounded by? Who would you be waking up next to? But more importantly, yourself. How would you feel when you wake up in the morning? What would you be doing as a job, and why? Like, why would that motivate you? Why are you so passionate about your job? What values do you hold as this perfect person of yourself? Are you driven by connecting people, or feeling loved, or helping others find love? Or what are those core values, which we've spoken about in another episode as well? What core values would you wake up having, and what would drive you? What core values do you need to have? Interesting question. Like, if drive or motivation isn't a core value of yours, like, you can't just make it a core value, obviously. There are ways to do that, but think about it. Like, if you could be the perfect version of yourself, what top 5 values would you have? I bet you if you could choose your top 5 values, they would drive you in a different way. And I heard this really interesting thing at a seminar recently, and it was, you feel the most motivated when you're aligned with your values. So fucking powerful. Like, think about it. When you've been absolutely driven and so fucking motivated to achieve your goals, what were you doing? And I bet you they were in line with your values. I remember my most recent super passionate and motivated and driven I've ever been was when I was launching my 5-day challenge a few months ago. And I was so driven and passionate. Like, I was staying up till like midnight every night, and I was excited to wake up in the morning knowing that I could continue working on my work and connecting with the girls on my challenges and doing my courses and talking to everybody. And I was so driven because my highest values are like connection, growth, love, and I can't remember the other two, but I was feeling that every day. I felt connected to you guys. I felt the love from all of you guys, and watching you guys grow and break through shit and growth for me. Like, I was learning so much about business, and I was growing my own personal business. So of course I felt like I was growing. So I'd never felt more motivated before,
because I was aligned with my values.
If you work with me or a coach, we have tools that we can use to help you guys understand what your top 5 values are. And we also have tools, any NLP practitioner will have tools to change those values. Crazy shit. It's fucking epic. But for now, I just want you guys to think about, who does that person need to be in order for you to make some massive shifts in your life? and make some big changes with your goals. I know I've spoken a little bit about accountability, but making sure you have the right people in your corner will do wonders for this goal setting and making 2021 your bitch, right? Yes, there's mentors, there's coaches, depending on what you're wanting to change. Like if it's health and wellness, join a gym with a friend. Accountability is this topic, remember? You're always more willing to achieve a goal if you're doing it with someone, because you don't want to let the person down. It's easier for you to talk yourself out of something, but me personally, I always do things more if I'm with someone, because I don't want to let somebody else down. I don't want to be that fucking friend. So yeah, doing it with a friend is a really good thing. Obviously, hire a personal trainer if it's in wellness or whatever it is. For career, like speak to those top leaders, put yourself out there. Speak to your colleagues or speak to people that have had the promotion or been through the journey recently, right? Accountability is key. In terms of achieving your goals as well, if it's something you are doing on your own, my advice, tell people what you're doing. Tell people about your goal or your journey. Because again, you're more likely to achieve it because you feel an obligation to, because you've told people to. It's almost like you'd be embarrassed if you didn't, right? I don't know, like whatever your drivers would be, that would definitely drive me, because I don't want to be embarrassed because I've told people I'm going to do something. I should probably do it. Like how embarrassing if you didn't, you know what I mean? But psychologically, they found like the more people you tell about it, the more it sinks in and the more likely you are to achieve it as well. So tell your friends and family, write a Facebook status, put it up on your Instagram stories, post in a group, and again, be specific with it. By this date, I would have done this. Or, tell your friends, I'm currently in this phase of my goal, like the learning phase or whatever it is, so that when you see that friend again for lunch in a month's time, they'll be like, hopefully, how'd you go with your goal? Or how'd you go with this? And I hope by a month's time you would have been like, oh yeah, great, I've done this. But if you haven't, what a good opportunity for someone to hold you accountable. And how embarrassing would it be to have that conversation of, actually, like I didn't do anything. And then it's another good opportunity to talk about why. So the friend's like, like good old Jay, not fucking achieving shit or whatever it is. It's like, maybe that's a rude awakening that you need, But hopefully after this podcast and after this conversation that I'm having with myself, that I'm having with you guys, we don't get to that point that we're repeating that behavior. Because the point of this is, make shit happen now. Don't wait for next year. Okay. So accountability is huge with goal setting, especially if you're in that part where you're trying to work on yourself and your limiting beliefs and that mindset of yours. Because like I said, it's easier to talk yourself out of your own goals and make excuses for yourself and self-sabotage. So it's always good to rely on other people to help you and guide you. The biggest investment you'll ever make is on yourself. So learn as much as you can, educate yourself. But my biggest thing is have a mentor, have a coach. It's not about the money you spend. It's about, transforming yourself, and where would you be if you just had that extra step or that extra guidance, 100% always worth the money. Always. And it kind of goes into the next topic, I suppose, of growth and education. What skills do you need to hit these goals? What do you need to educate yourself on? Do as many courses as you can. Buy ebooks, listen to audiobooks. And it doesn't have to be this massive, 6-year fucking course at uni. It could just be a fucking $4 ebook that you download and listen to. And you're just one step closer, because after you've read that book, it's one more thing that you now know that you didn't a week ago. Do you know what I mean? Even with this podcast episode, I hope there's things that you've picked up that's just that little aha moment, and you go, oh, cool, I'll shift that. It doesn't have to be a big, massive life change. Continuous little small aha moments and realizations and skills or educations, can make a world of difference toward that big end goal. And I'm a huge believer in breathing, for starters. I need to take a breath. I'm a huge believer that everything happens for a reason, and especially in terms of, I believe that you meet specific people at specific times for a reason. You have specific conversations with specific people at certain times for a reason. You know, what is that person teaching you? Or you watch a movie or a documentary, or you see a sign specifically at a specific time because it's meant to teach you something at that moment. You know, we go through life experiences for a reason because they were meant to teach us something. It's exactly the same with things that you hear and interact with and learn about. So the more that you expose yourself to those kind of opportunities, the more educated you're going to be and the better off you're going to be. If you close yourself off and sit in denial and don't care about anything, then of course you're not going to grow. So it's any type of education is a fucking win-win. Like, go speak to someone, go watch a TED Talk, you know, like look at them on YouTube. You don't even have to go in person. Watch TED Talks on YouTube. Look up your favorite mentor and watch all their YouTube videos. Listen to podcasts, like whatever it is. I promise you, whatever you're hearing in the moment is supposed to happen, and it's one step closer. But you can do yourself that due diligence by actively seeking it. So put yourself out there and be open to every single opportunity and conversation, because I promise you, everyone will teach you something different. You just have to have that optimistic mindset that what can I learn from this experience, or what can I learn from this situation? Make sure you have those plans and structures in place, you know, small wins along the way to that big goal as well. Because if you only have that one big end goal, it can be easy to fall off track or be discouraged because it's taking so long to feel that sense of accomplishment or a win. So great, have that big fucking hairy, audacious, bold goal waiting for you whenever that is, like 6 months, a year, 2 years, whatever that looks like for you. But what are the smaller goals that you get to achieve along the way? So it could be listening to a podcast. It could be graduating this uni degree. It could be have that conversation with that important person that you know you need to. Like small things that you can mentally tick off and go, yes, like one step closer toward that big goal. And that keeps that momentum pattern going that I was talking about as well. You know, you feel so much more motivated going, yes, like I feel it now. Like I feel motivated. I feel excited. I'm definitely on the right track, because you're getting these small, exciting wins along the way. The biggest thing I've probably taken away from 2020 with all of the learnings and education I've done for myself is something that my mentor tells me is done is better than perfect. And I'm still talking myself into this. And what I mean by that is it's so easy to self-sabotage and procrastinate and put off your goals and just keep saying, it's not ready yet. It's not ready yet. Whereas if you just fucking get it, just do it. Even if it's shit, just do it. Put it out there, because one, you've officially started. And if it's shit, nobody knows, because this is the first time they're seeing it. The only person that probably isn't up to standard is yourself. And let's be realistic, when is anything up to our standards? Because we're perfectionists, we're control freaks. Well, I am anyway. So I know this probably speaks to a lot of you. You know, how many times have you continuously put off your goal of launching something or starting a business or having that conversation because you're like, oh, it's not the right time. It's not the right time. Oh, it's not ready yet. I just want to do one more thing to it. Fuck that. Just do it. Done is better than perfect. Fail forward. And I tell you what, like, wouldn't you rather put something out there that's shit so that you can learn, right? Like, if you're waiting for it to be perfect, how do you know it's perfect unless your clients have seen it? How do you know it's perfect unless anybody has experienced it? You want to keep putting stuff out there that your community or your audience or your partner or whatever the fuck context you want to hear this in, you want to put it out there so that they can give you feedback so you can make it better, right? It should have something to improve on every single time. I should, like, probably saying putting it out there when it's shit is not the right wording to use, but just putting it out there when it's basic AF so you can continuously improve on it is the best thing ever. Like, how are you ever going to know what the clients want unless you put something out there, right? So just put it out there and ask for feedback and continuously fail forward. Like, who cares? Just do it. Just do it. right? Stop making excuses as to why you haven't joined a gym yet, or stop making excuses as to why you haven't broke up with that asshole yet, or, you know, what is it? Like, approach that one person you want to speak to. Ask for that job promotion. Like, what have you got to lose, honestly? The worst case scenario is they say no, or there's so many different scenarios for this, right? I'm not going to list them all, but you get my point. Like, done is better than perfect. And what really calms me down is like no one knows what to expect. So in their mind, think about it. Like, I've just told you guys to go out and speak to people, right? And people need to hear things at certain times to improve their lives and to grow. You are that person. You're the person that your audience and your community is waiting for and needs to listen to. But you're selfishly sitting there in your box of fucking comfort and self-sabotage, shaking hands with your limiting beliefs, going, it's not ready yet. Next time I'll put it out there. And you're holding back all this brilliant information, and you as a person, you're holding back that opportunity for your community to go, fuck, I needed to hear that today. So glad I met this person today. Like, don't be selfish. If that's what drives you, like, I used to say that to myself all the time. I think I've been doing personal development courses for like 5 to 7 years, right? Somewhere around that time period. And I remember at the end of one of my seminars with my current mentor, actually, I was like crying my eyes out, and I was saying to myself in my head, like, people are out there waiting for you. Like, don't be fucking selfish. People are out there waiting for you. You have so much to give to people. And it was just like, you're right. Like, you can choose to sit there with your limiting beliefs and your self-sabotaging behaviors and sit there with your fucking bag of excuses that's weighing you down. If that makes you sleep at night and that makes you feel good, go for it. Like, you do you, Glen Coco. But I hope you also think about there's so many people in this world need whatever you are ready to give them right now. Like, don't be fucking selfish. I get a little bit passionate about this topic. Like, I know it's hard when you're stuck in that mindset, but if that's what drives you, like, people are waiting for you. And whatever gift you're excited about, whatever skill you have, whatever you're passionate about, whatever you want to do right now and you're holding yourself back, think about you are that person that someone needs to hear from right now. Whether you teach them something, whether you think you're teaching them something or not, remember what I said. Every conversation happens for a reason, but you're not allowing that conversation to happen for people because you're holding yourself back. Think about it. Whew. All right. Let's get a little bit less passionate here. Oh, I should be a coach. I'm just kidding. Okay. So let's have a think. What have you guys learned this year? What have you guys learned from this podcast, from a friend? What conversation have you had with someone? What interaction? What have you listened to? What have you watched? What have you seen? Whatever it is, right? Think about it. And what kind of learnings and insights from 2020 are you going to take away and implement into 2021? You can have that mindset of 2020 was a fucking shit year and it was horrible and, you know, burn this year and it was crap. I'm so glad it's over. Yeah, but it's not the year's fault. It's just life, right? And it just so happened that a lot of crap things did happen this year, but it's not 2020's fault. He just had a bad run with some bad things, okay? And we can choose to sit here and say, life's really hard at the moment. 2020 was shit. I'm feeling unmotivated. I'm feeling down, whatever it is. Great. But what a time to be alive, because we've taken so many lessons and learnings and experiences from this quote unquote shit year, right? Like, no one else, future babies, would have not have the life experience that we have because we've gone through so much shit in 2020. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, same as our generation will not know what fucking war trauma is from so many years ago, right? Like, we're getting a bit off topic here, but I'm trying to get you guys to understand that mindset is everything. You know, we can choose to be negative about everything that's happened, or we can sit and go, great, like, look how many challenges 2020's thrown at us. What have I learned from it? And what can I implement in 2021 knowing what I know now? Does that make sense? Cool. I hope you're all nodding your head or saying yes, because I can't hear or see you. Hope you're still with me at this part of the fucking episode anyway. I hope you take everything I've said in this episode. Indulge it. Do some planning. First of all, have that awareness. Who do you need to be? What's holding you back emotionally? What behaviors, etc., etc. What accountability are you going to have for yourself? You're going to tell a friend, post it on social media, hire a coach or a mentor, do it with someone, not sexually, but like do your goals with someone. What plan do you have in place? You know, is it long-term goal, short-term goal? What date? What time? Be specific. What small wins are you going to have along the way? So plan those out as well. And how often? You know, every 3 months along the way. If you look back and you know you've achieved everything you wanted to so far in 3 months, cool. What does that mean? What do you get to do when you celebrate? What educational and skill stuff are you going to put? Why do I sound so illiterate? What opportunities for growth, education, and skills? Damn, that was so better. Are you going to put in place for yourself? And remember, we don't give a fuck about New Year's resolutions. We care about right now. So let's pretend it's already January 1st in your head. Cool. Start fresh as of right now. As soon as this episode finishes, what are you going to do? What education opportunities are there? For starters, you have me. Like, you've just listened to this podcast for a reason, right? I hope it shifted your mindset just that little bit to go, right? You've just had this conversation. And I say conversation lightly because I feel like I'm talking to you guys. But, you know, you have resources from me. I have a Facebook group with people in it that you can connect with. You know, there's fucking millions of other people on Spotify or wherever you're listening to. What book are you going to download? What conversation are you going to have with your mentor or your boss at work or your co-workers, whatever it is, your partner? What can they teach you? Think about it. Remember that done is better than perfect. Continue to fail forward, learn and improve, ask for feedback, and you can't go wrong. Don't be so fucking hard on yourself. What work are you going to do on yourself, most importantly? And it's okay that we have flaws and it's okay that we're not where we want to be. We never will be. I hope you're never where you want to be because you should always be trying to improve yourself. We're never going to feel perfect because there's no such thing. You should always want to improve yourself. So let's take that mindset and fucking make 2021 our bitch. Please, if you're listening to this episode, I would love for you to join the Facebook group and actually post in there what's been your takeaway from this episode. And I would love to celebrate your wins with you. I say this to my clients all the time, right? Post in the Facebook group. I want to hear all about your wins, or tell me what your goal is going to be. What have you set for yourself? Every time you have a win, tell the Facebook group or tell me. I would love to support you and celebrate with you and give you that virtual hug. You guys are already a step ahead from listening to this episode. You've just learned something about how cool I am. I'm not that obsessed with myself. I'm just sarcastic. If you're just tuning into this episode, you'll get used to me. I'm very sarcastic. I'm not obsessed with myself. I mean, I'm pretty fucking perfect, but, you know, I have sarcastic English humor, so you'll get me. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Ooh, I'm so excited for the rest of this year. We've got plenty of time. I'm super excited. So thank you guys for tuning in. If you want to catch me on socials, I will link them in the description of this episode. But Instagram is just Jade Delpup, Jayde, and my last name is Delpup. Delpup. I also have YouTube, and I have a business page on Instagram as well. It's just Jade Delpup Coaching. So come by me, reach out, tell me how awesome you are as well. Tell me all about your goals. I love connecting with you guys. Remember, my values is connection. So go for it. Please connect. Share that love. Thank you guys for watching. Wishing you the best 2020/21 ever. Epic things are coming your way. Thank you very much. I can't remember my outro. This is the new one. Bye.